Do you want to dominate BlackBeacon? Well, here's the team that can help you deal devastating damage. In this video, we'll go over the characters, their builds, which skills to prioritize, and the rotation. The team composition for this team will be Liuchi, Logos, and Zero. A lot of you are already familiar with this team, being Liuchi, Logos, and Azi. But for this team, we'll be using Liuchi, Logos, and Zero. For a few reasons. As much as Azi might be the better support, many people might not receive Azi right now. Whereas for Zero, we get her for free from the event. We also get her 5-star weapon and all her constellations. This makes her the better support for the team in the time being, as she deals out way more damage and also has the 30% attack, but we'll get to that when we go over each character individually. Now we shall start with Liuchi. Liuchi is a Berserker type hero, and he's currently the best damage dealer in the game. I know it's unfamiliar for the standard banner character to do more damage than the limited character, whereas for Liuchi, that seems to be the case. Liuchi is currently the best damage dealer in the game. Although his playstyle is a bit of a Berserker style, where he sacrifices his own health, many people might be thrown off by this type of playstyle, but with Logos in your team, you won't really feel the need for another dedicated healer. Her heals are not anything to write home about, but they do keep Liuchi alive. Now for upgrade priorities with Liuchi, you first start with your basic attack, and then your skill 2, and then your ultimate. The reason you start with your basic attack is when he activates his skill 2 fully, the flurry of attacks he does scales off his basic attack, so upgrading the basic attack goes first. Skill 2 is your most used skill after the basic attack, so it goes second, and the ultimate just deals a ton of damage, and upgrading it whenever you can makes sense. With Liuchi always draining his own life, you might find yourself in some sticky situations. This is why Logos is part of the team. Although Logos is not a dedicated healer, her heals are enough to keep him alive. Many people have struggled to find what makes Logos heal, as when you get her at first, she doesn't heal until you upgrade her to unlock her second talent. The second talent is what makes her heal. She has a nice and short combo that you can swap in, do the combo and exit without her spending a lot of time on the field, so this does not affect your DPS that much. For her upgrade priority would be starting with her passive, then her ultimate and her skill 2. Her passive is what activates her melodies which help in her healing, so this is what you start with. Her ultimate deals a ton of damage, so this is also what you upgrade, and her skill 2 is what activates the passive, which is why you upgrade it next. Our next hero is Zero. I'm sure you already know a lot about this hero. Some people prefer Azi here, but as I've said, I've come to enjoy Zero in this position. She has a 30% attack boost that lasts for an entire 20 seconds. She also deals decent damage. At the beginning, she could even be your damage dealer, although she falls off as time goes by. We get all her duplicates as I've mentioned and a 5-star weapon for free. Her upgrade priority would be her skill 2, which grants us the 20% attack damage, followed by her ult and then her skill 1. Now for combos. The person I've chosen to use first on the team is Zero. The reason for this is so that I can set up her 30% attack boost that lasts for an entire 20 seconds. This boost can last for the entire combo, as we've got a pretty short rotation going on here. So first on the field is Zero. You use your skill 1, which activates the enhanced form of her skill 1, and then you use her skill 1 again. This then activates skill 2. You use your skill 2 twice as well. You use the first form and the advanced form. Once you've used the advanced form, this will give the 30% attack boost to the rest of the team. You then rotate to Logos. With Logos, you mix basic attack, first skill, a basic attack, and the second skill, and then a basic attack. This is usually enough to fill up her bar and get her to activate her melodies. Once she's activated her melodies, you switch to Liuchi. Her combo is very short and takes little time on the field. Next is Liuchi. Liuchi has 2 combos, although I've come to like the first one. For the first combo, you use your skill 1 first to mark the enemy you wanna attack. You then use your skill 2 until you enter your Berserk mode. Once in the Berserk mode, Liuchi will unleash a flurry of attacks. After the first attack, you can dash to dodge or anything and then use your second flurry of attacks. After this, you swap off Liuchi, as he will enter a mode where he becomes slower. His second combo is one that starts with skill 2 rather than skill 1. You use your skill 2 until he enters his Berserk mode. Once in the Berserk mode, he will launch his flurry of attacks. Once the first flurry of attacks is done, then you use skill 2, then you launch another flurry of attacks. I do not like this combo because, as sometimes putting in that second skill in between his flurry of attacks can make you miss the full flurry of attacks the second time around, which can lead to a DPS loss. So the first combo has become my preferred combo. Once Liuchi exits Berserk mode, it is advised to swap off him because he enters into a slowed state. At this point, you swap back to 0 and then rinse and repeat the combo. But for the second rotation, you will have your ultimates in hand. But for the second one, you will have your ultimates ready and you will use them after each combo. So for 0, it will be skill 1, then skill 1 enhanced, skill 2, then skill 2 enhanced, then ultimate, then swap. For Logos, it will be basic attack, skill 1, basic attack, skill 2, basic attack, and then she'll do her flurry of attacks, then ultimate, then switch to Liuchi. For Liuchi, it will be skill 1, then skill 2 until you get your Berserk form, do your flurry of attacks, then ultimate when he goes into his slow mode. Then switch back to 0, rinse and repeat. This is the combo. As I've gone over each character individually, I'll now show you what the combo looks like in action. We start with 0, skill 1 twice, then skill 2 twice, then we swap to Logos. With Logos, we go basic attack, skill 1, basic attack, skill 2. She does a flurry of attacks and we swap to Liuchi. With Liuchi, it's skill 2, skill 2, skill 2 until he enters his Berserk mode. We do the flurry of attacks, we dash and then we do the flurry of attacks again. And then rinse and repeat. Well, that's the end of our video. Subscribe for more BlackBeacon content. See you in the next one. And what video would you like me to do next?
Let it to fry!
Ansu, end it all!